Welcome to the Curly Hair Q&A Mondays with Melanie show. I am your host, Ken Nickels, and I'm here with Melanie Nickels. She is the founder of the Raw Hair Organic Salon in beautiful Naples, Florida. It's one of the top curly hair salons in the country, and Melanie is one of the top curl experts and color specialists anywhere in the world. She is also the founder of the Raw Curls brand of natural and organic curly hair products. And this is episode 115 if you've been following along. And this is a very special episode. It is the hair color question show. We do this, maybe twice a year. And it's actually kind of funny because I thought about this a couple of weeks ago, that it was probably about time to do another hair color show, since we have one of the top color experts anywhere on our show, on our panel. So we should probably utilize that. But it was kind of funny because I said, we're probably about due. And I literally today, while I was scrolling through my notes, it's been exactly 6 months to the day since we've done a hair color show. So wow. Primarily hair color. So we do, for this show, we do, when we do the hair color show, we do a we kind of open it up. So it's not just for people with curly hair, people who don't have curly hair but have hair color questions, since they're usually pretty general. We open it up to them too, and it sometimes can be a little bit longer. So anyway, so our show, as usual, is sponsored by Raw Hair Organics and the Raw Curls brand of natural and organic curly hair products. And if it wasn't for Raw Curls, there would be no weekly Q&A show. And there's been a couple hundred, well over 200, I think around 220 shows so far. And you can find them at rawhairorganics.com. I'm not telling you to buy Raw Curls products because that would be sales pitchy, but if you're going to buy curly hair products, I'd prefer you buy ours. That's a good way to put it, isn't it? Kind of.
Your
All right.
mic probably doesn't need to be as close because you're like yelling super loud. We can all hear you loud.
It could be.
And clear.
That's a Rhett thing. That's our producer. Good thing we have also on staff our semi-professional producer with us tonight. Rhett, say hi. Or they can't hear him. He said hi.
I thought this was our special Easter
This
show.
is also our special Easter show. And so this thing keeps sticking to me. Yeah, Rhett, can you turn me down in her ears? Okay, he's got it. Is that better, Melanie?
Yeah.
Now I can't hear myself. Now I can hear. I can't because it's all covered in this fancy.
Yeah, you can't even see the Easter bunny tablecloth.
Okay, am I number 2? There I am. Okay, yeah, now I can hear myself. Anyway, it keeps sticking to my arms.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
We're ready for Easter. Murphy's got her Easter dress on, and I have my Easter bonnet, right?
Yep, we have Murphy here. Say hi,
Easter
Murphy.
Bunny comes.
She's here. Yep, she's here with us. We've everybody here. Everybody's in Easter color than me. I'm in my normal black. So.
Well, you could put these on.
No, I'm not putting anything on. I'm not putting anything.
You could put these on.
I'm not. I'm still in mourning.
He's got Easter bunny
okay,
glasses.
I might. We'll see.
They're blue and sparkly.
They're blue and sparkly, and I'm all about sparkly. So, All right, let's get started. We've got lots and lots of questions. For those of you who are new to this show, you can watch us either in the Curly Girl Support Group on Facebook. You can watch us live. You can watch us on the Curly Hair Q&A YouTube channel live. You can also watch us at Raw Curls on Instagram. You can watch us live. And tomorrow morning, by 5:30 a.m. Eastern Time, you can also find this as a podcast. So all of our podcasts are archived, so you can go back and listen to all of them, and the descriptions are all in the titles. And you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, Stitcher, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. That's the first time I got them all in.
Because you're reading.
Because I wrote them.
We're not impressed. You're reading off the board.
Because I wrote them on the board. Okay, Rhett saes he's impressed, so that's good. At least somebody's impressed with me.
Well, we're impressed that you wrote them down.
Yeah, so
we'll give you that.
Right.
We'll give you that.
Which is exactly what I did. I said, Rhett, what are we on? As I wrote them, as I yelled into the control room as I was writing them down. But hey, at least I got them. So if you want to listen to our number 2 rated hair industry podcast for 2019, so we're like award winning and stuff, yo. So Anyway, all right. So great, really interesting today that is our special hair color show, because I actually got a little color touch up last night.
Perfect. So men, I was just going to say we could share a fun fact on men's hair coloring.
Yes. Do you want? Well, let's share that before we get into it. So you've got a fun fact, and it's related to men and hair color, right?
Well, that's your fun fact. You got your hair colored.
I got my hair colored, yes. But, and I do on a fairly regular basis. I like to be touched up a little bit.
Yeah, he's high maintenance. So about every 2 or 3 weeks. But typically the way that I do men's hair color is so that it is a deposit only, more of a demi-permanent color that washes out gradually. So I'm blending the grays, not giving complete coverage, because men don't want to look like they color their hair. So it's a great way to, and it's only anywhere from a 5 to a 20-minute process from start to finish. Mm-hmm. So I typically apply the demi-permanent color on damp hair. And then it processes, like I say, anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes. Sometimes I even, on men that are more like, have more white or more silver in their hair, and I have to add a whole lot more pepper to it, I'll call it. Sometimes I take a special brush and I just literally, like almost like a big mascara brush or a small tint brush, a tiny one, and I'm literally painting pieces through there so that it looks like it's a blend of light and dark color, and then that just gradually washes out of the hair. Mm-hmm. So they really like that.
I do, that's for sure. I don't see myself stopping this anytime. I won't even say anytime soon. I don't think I'll stop anytime.
Well, and on Ken's hair, he has more gray on the sides, on both sides of his head. So if it's not colored, it gives that look of wearing a hairpiece, because you don't see any pigment on the sides of his head, and then it just looks like dark color sitting on the top, so it looks like he's wearing a hairpiece. So
yeah, and that ain't cool.
No,
that ain't cool.
Definitely not
cool. Hey, is that an Easter bonnet you're wearing?
It's an Easter bonnet.
Where did you find an Easter bonnet that fits your little head?
Well, it's not fitting my little head because I have these earphones on, but actually it's like too big on me, but I like it anyway. So yeah, it's not really fitting right because I have these goofy earphones on, but
earphones? Aren't they called monitors?
Headphones?
Are they? What are they called? Headphones or monitors? Something. Whatever you want to call them.
I have my little Easter bonnet on anyway. Yeah, I usually have to buy a kid's hat because I have a small head.
Yeah.
I wanted to buy a kid's dress because I saw a really cute one, but I thought that might not fit anymore.
Anything else you want to share with us, or should we get into questions?
We can answer some questions. We can do another fun fact later.
Okay, because I have no fun facts, so if you do, hopefully
you do.
Are you
going to put on your glasses?
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. So, okay, let's get into some questions. Okay, Melanie, why do some stylists put rows of cotton between their foils when hair coloring?
So, well, my answer to that is that there's a lack of confidence and also a lack of knowledge and technique. Like they don't have their technique perfected because it shouldn't be necessary. They do that so that they don't get bleeds. And if you're highlighting and foiling properly, there's no need to put cotton in between. It shouldn't be necessary. So to me, you need more experience and you need more confidence.
So
that's the reason they do it though, because if they're applying too much product too close to the edge of the foil, they're going to get what we call bleeds, which are lines beyond where the foil is in the hair, so it'll show like a line of blonde. So they're trying to put the cotton there as a barrier.
Okay. So what, practice, is that what gets you better?
Yeah, practice, taking classes, just practicing your techniques and just working on. There's also a certain way of folding the foil that really helps. I know some people do it kind of backwards to me, like they fold their foil with the lip with the edge facing them, and I teach to fold the foil with the lip or the edge facing away from them because that gives two things. It gives you a way that you can tighten that foil if it does happen to move or slip when you're applying. You stick your tail comb in that edge or that lip, and you can just push it right back up to the hairline. And then it also gives you some extra protection when you're folding it, because it just gives a little bit of a natural barrier folding it in that manner.
Okay. Okay. For those of you who don't know and maybe haven't been around here for a while, or maybe this is your first episode, Melanie is an American board certified master hair colorist. She is also one of 19 people who has reached the level of exam evaluator. And she's been certified for, got to be 12, 13, 14 years. It's got to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a while.
14.
Yeah, so in the United
14,
States, that's the highest hair color certification program that you can pass and achieve.
Yeah, so I mean, and you're definitely not going to go take an exam to be board certified and put cotton in between your foils.
No?
No. I hope not. Don't do it.
Note to self. All right. Okay. This one's a little bit lengthy, but I'm going to read it the way I got it. Let's see. Melanie, can you speak about dyeing red curly hair? I have naturally red hair that has gotten darker with age. I've tried to have a salon lighten it up on a few occasions, but with mixed results. The last time I ended up with fire engine red hair, and in parentheses she puts, I'm in a professional career and had to use cheap shampoo and other at-home remedies to strip it, which wasn't Curly Girl Method approved. How can I safely brighten up red hair, go from dark red to more standard ginger red, and communicate that to a stylist?
Well, okay, so her hair's gotten darker. So basically she's just needing to shift it slightly, and that would give her that perfect control of a little brighter red without getting, like she called, fire engine. So the law of coloring is anytime you're removing color from the hair, it's going to pull warmth. So the stylist needs to formulate. She just needs to communicate that she just wants to slightly, brighten her hair. There's even products now that are made for that are like, you can use a clear and just shift it like one level. So it's just going to brighten it up a little bit. Basically, using this clear, and probably can do it that with a 10 or for sure no more than a 20 volume, depending on what product is being used. So yeah, but if they're going to try, and then there's ways to control the warmth as well with the choice of colors that are used in the formulation. So, I would just have a thorough consultation with the stylist and make sure that they understand that you just want to slightly shift the color just to brighten it a little bit. So, almost like doing a base breaker. So it's just going to, lighten it a little bit without making it too warm.
Okay. That's actually another question that we got, so I'm going to use that as a lead-in. And this came from a stylist. Melanie, can you explain what base breaking or breaking the base is and how you do it?
Yes. So a base breaker or breaking the base is, like I just said, shifting the natural hair just slightly, so that it just softens that darkness or that ashiness of the natural hair in between highlights. So typically I do that on someone that you're just foiling, but then we want to just, so it's not like this dark, how people's hair looks really like dark then, their natural color. It almost looks like a dark brown or a black next to the blonde. So we just want to shift that natural level slightly. And there's lots of different ways to do it, but I really have the best way. It's
What's
awesome.
the best way?
It is awesome. And, they didn't ask me to teach this at ABCH. And
why?
It really is, well, good question, because that was something that circulated around in that organization, and they were asking, because there's so many different opinions about it, and nobody really has the best technique. And some people use like a 10 volume with the color, and how much time do you leave? So it's just always been this conversation, what's the best way? But I really do have the best way. And I learned this from a friend of mine. And so, let's see, should I share it? I guess I could.
Go ahead.
Well, so you're basically taking a high lift ash color and you're using 40 volume developer, and you literally, after you highlight and wash the highlights out of the hair, you're going to, this is for stylists, obviously.
For stylists. Don't try this at home.
Yeah, don't try this at home. You can't do it yourself. It's impossible because it's only on for like a minute to 3 minutes, no more, never more than 5. So you have to get it on super fast. It's, you make it very liquidy, and you just get it on the scalp, all the hair, as quick as you can. You got to get it on in like minutes, and then literally you watch it, and it just slightly shifts that natural hair color, and you rinse it off. You're done. So, that's not exactly the most organic technique that I do.
You think?
But it's only on for like minutes, literally, and it's awesome. So
Okay.
yeah.
If you're a stylist, well, don't send me any emails because I can't answer them, but at least on this stuff I can't. All right.
That's my little secret, but I just shared it with everybody.
Well, there you go. Well, here you can have some more, give some more secrets out. Melanie, my hair has started to gray within the last year. My natural hair color is a medium brown. I get my roots done every 6 weeks. I can't seem to find a stylist that can match my root color to my natural hair color. I've gone to several stylists and they always dye my roots so much darker than my natural hair color. I've been told by many stylists that the darker hair dye colors the gray better. Is this true? Any advice to me on how to fix this? Thank you. I'm going to rephrase her sentence. She says many stylists are telling her that if you use darker hair color, it'll color resistant grays better.
Right, I understood that.
Okay.
So, no.
No. Okay.
Well, you still can get gray coverage with complete gray coverage with up to a level 8, which is a blonde. So I would again say that's a lack of knowledge and technique. I don't, and bad formulation. So I have no problem covering grays,
Ever?
No, I mean, mine are resistant. Some people's are more resistant than others, but it's not like you have to use a darker color. That is not the solution. There's some other tricks if people have resistant grays that can be used. There's several different things to pre-soften. You can do a hard mix, which is mixing more color to developer. There's all kinds of things that you can do once you know that somebody has resistant grays, but just putting on a darker color doesn't make any sense. Those people don't know what they're talking about. Sorry. I'm sorry, but that doesn't make sense. There's no reason that a good colorist shouldn't be able to match your natural color, especially a brown. That's like super easy. I don't know what the problem is. I really don't.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I would try to maybe look up an ABCH stylist. Maybe there's one in your area because they should be able to match your formulation very easily. So I don't know. She said she's like a medium brown, right?
Yeah.
And that's super easy. So, going to be like a 5, 6. And maybe, I don't know if they're, putting too much ash in there to make it too dark. I don't know what the problem is, but that should not be a problem at all.
Okay. Melanie,
you know what? Let me just say, so tell whoever you go to, tell them the problem that you have been having where everyone's seeming to make it too dark so that hopefully I don't know why they can't match it, but, I'm not sure if the previous stylist would give their formulation out. I know a lot of people are funny about that. I'm not, because I have I have people that are seasonal, so they come and go, and I have enough confidence that, I'm not worried about someone stealing my formulation.
Right.
But, maybe you can get that to see what they're using. And then, the stylist that you go to next can have an idea of what's been used previously and that it's been grabbing too dark for whatever reason and adjust.
Okay. All right. Another resistant gray question. Melanie, and this is big, bold letters. I hate my resistant grays. My stylist says that, bear with me.
Nobody loves them.
Right. Nobody loves them. My stylist says that it's just a part of life and I have to live with the kind of coverage that he's able to give me. Is there anything else at all that can be done to cover those little bastards? I think she means the gray color, not the stylist, not him.
Oh, gosh.
Because it could be either.
It just,
wanted to
I'm
clarify.
laughing because Terry was laughing because I was trying to get this little gecko that's been haunting us in the salon. And, they're so stupid. And I'm like,
You open the door and he won't go, right?
and anytime you get close, then he runs under something or, he literally jumped on one of my clients on her arm. Thank God she didn't feel it. But I was like, so I thought I had him the other morning and he ran under Julie's station. I'm like, you little bastard. And, Terry started laughing. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, you're going to die in here.
All right.
Anyway, so yeah, well, unfortunately, it is something you have to live with. Some people, like myself and like you, do have more resistant grays, but there are things that you can do that your stylist can do to help get coverage and to help, that gray hair cover when it's being colored. So like I was just talking about pre-softening, that is actually, I've done where I've washed people's hair before I color it, which used to be like a no-no, but I'm not using ammonia hair color, so I'm able to do that. Yeah, that's another thing. Using, believe it or not, the oil delivery system colors, which are a lot of the non-ammonia hair colors, they use an oil delivery system, so that has the oil in it, which is a pre-softening. So that's why we get excellent gray coverage with those colors, because there's a lot of oils in them. And that was another thing that we used to do, was like condition the hair or, use some kind of product that has like a jojoba oil in it to pre-soften the hair so that it covers better. So those are things that you can do. What else? The hard mix is taking, like if you did a mix of 1-to-1, which is equal parts color to developer, then do like 1.5 parts color to 1 part developer.
Okay.
Those are just some simple little things.
Just some little tricks. Okay. All right. Okay. Melanie, what is the safest brand of hair dye to use for curly hair?
Well, there's a lot of good ones out there now, but I really have been in love with the OA hair color for so many years. I use organic color systems, and I was, a huge fan. I loved it. It's still a great color line.
You were one of the first stylists in the country to use organic color systems when they came,
Yep,
right?
I was, and I loved it. And that was one of the, best things that I had found back then. And they're still wonderful, but I found, the OA hair color to be even better. And then now O&M, organic minerals, or
Original
minerals.
Yeah.
They have reformulated theirs. So
have you tried it yet?
I have, yeah. I use a couple things in that line, and that's a good one as well. So those are my top favorites. I haven't switched to it fully because I already was using the OA one, which I love. So I haven't found a reason, but now the reformulated O&M is very nice.
Very nice. Okay. All right.
So all of those are ammonia-free hair color lines. And like I say, there's many other ones out there, but those are my favorites. So
okay.
That kind of hair color is going to be gentler on the hair because of not using the ammonia. And again, they have like an oil delivery system, which helps the hair. The integrity of the hair is fantastic. Like even people that have no idea of anything other than, I can look at my hair and it looks healthier from this point where you started coloring to this point, where the old hair color was. You can totally tell the difference. It's, healthier and shinier.
Yeah.
So it's just more gentle.
You know what? Before I get into the next question, it's probably a good time to bring this up too. Melanie is holding a Raw Curls Academy workshop for stylists the 4th of July weekend, which would be the Sunday and Monday. I think it's the 5th and 6th or 6th and 7th, whatever it is. Whatever that 4th of July weekend is. Sunday and Monday, she's holding a 2-day workshop for professional licensed stylists. So if you're a licensed stylist and would like to come to Melanie's training, you can contact me at ken@rawhairorganics.com, and I'll tell you all about it. I'll give you all the info. It's here at our salon in beautiful Naples, Florida. So it's a great little trip, but you'll be busy. Trust me, it's 2 loaded days.
Come with an open mind and ready, and a big notebook.
Yeah, don't plan on coming to Naples and after the class on Sunday, going out drinking and making it no, it's none of that. Because you're going to want to be ready. They're full days. We don't take an hour and a half for lunch to chat. But anyway, if you'd like to, we have a couple of spots available yet, to the best of my knowledge. So you can email me and you can come work with Melanie for a couple of days. And I will be announcing in next week's show also the other Curl Academy training we have coming up at the Raw Hair Organic Salon in Naples, the License to Lead training with Sherry Harbinger, the Diva Curl Academy co-founder, will be teaching at our salon too, and there'll be some spots open for that, and I'll be able to tell you the dates and the cost of that. All right, now we're gonna get into some questions.
What about you haven't talked about the Day of Curls for a while?
No, and we are going to as well. I'll talk about that later. Rhett's got the link handy, and we'll talk about that later when we get through this. There's a lot of questions, and I know this show always lasts a little longer, so I'm gonna try to stuff in as many as I can.
I feel like my hat is so poofy because I can't get it to go down.
Just don't move. Just sit just like that.
I feel like a cone head.
It doesn't look that way. Honest, it doesn't. All right. Melanie, here we go. Melanie, my hairstylist insists on using Olaplex on every hair color service she does. I told her that I heard you or Ken once say that if your stylist is using Olaplex all the time, that they are using it as a crutch. Now, I don't know if Melanie said that. I probably did.
No, I never said that.
I probably did.
Don't be blaming me. I
probably did. I probably did. She vehemently disagrees. What are your thoughts, Melanie?
Yeah, no, I don't ever remember you saying that either. But
I probably did.
Well, I don't agree. It's not a crutch.
It can be used as a crutch.
It can be. Yeah, I mean, I may have said something way back at the beginning of its existence, because it can be used as a crutch for high, and I'm not talking about just in color. That wouldn't make any sense. Using it in color, they're just using it more to make it gentler and to be healthier for the hair, which I don't find necessary with our color that we're using because it's non-ammonia already. So, I don't need that bond, reconstructor in the hair color.
Yeah, but what about other stylists using other
that's
ammonia-based colors?
Yeah, so that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. And maybe because the hair is healthier, that's another reason why you get better gray coverage, and hair color lasts longer because, if that hair is healthy, it works better. So, that could definitely be helpful. But where you can get into using it as a crutch is in highlighting. People that are sloppy, like we were just talking about, having to use cotton in between your foils, and these girls that have just, really gotten into the balayaging, the painting on the highlights, and, they don't have the technical skills of doing really clean, nice highlighting, regular highlighting with a foil. And you have to be careful because techniques come and go. The balayage is not really new. This is like an old technique, a really old technique, and it just has become really popular again. But, it also then, starts going back towards foiling all the way, closer to the scalp. So you have to be proficient at all of these techniques, And so anyway, where it could be used as a crutch is for people that are wanting, that are just being sloppy and overlapping when they're foiling. You have to be very careful. This is what we do in the ABCH organization is you're tested on being able to do a highlight retouch without overlapping the previously highlighted hair. Because when you do that with color, with, highlights, any of those things, you're going to be breaking down the integrity of the hair where you're overlapping. So it's very important not to be just slopping it on, and overlapping where it was already highlighted. So in that way, people could be using it as a little bit of a crutch, so that they're going back and then, just it's like a protection thing so that they're not breaking the hair. Yeah. Whereas in old days, we would have been breaking the hair off.
Right. I'm sure I'm sure I probably said that at some point, and I know why. If you saw me say that or heard me, it would be in relation to in a lot of the big professional hairstylist groups on Facebook, there's always a lot of younger, inexperienced stylists that are trying to do a lot of fashion colors and a lot of really skilled procedures, and they are using Olaplex as a crutch because they're looking at it and saying, I'm going to try this. I'm not confident I can do it, but I know that if I have Olaplex, it'll save me out of anything. And that's
And it's not even totally true. I mean,
it's not.
Olaplex will help to a point, but at some point you can still go beyond help and you're still going to break the hair. So people trying to, with all that pre-lightening, with the, the fashion colors and everything, that is hard on the hair for sure. So, using an Olaplex product is great, because you are really breaking down and damaging that hair when you're stripping it completely, of its color to get it light enough to use the fashion colors.
Yeah.
And who knows what they had on their hair, what kind of color or highlighting they had before that. So that's where you can get into trouble because if you had previous highlights and then you have color over and then you highlight over again, or try to strip that color, that's where you're getting into trouble and you could have breakage for sure.
Yeah, which isn't good.
No.
Yeah.
But it's a great product. It definitely is a great product to use, in a lot of situations. Yeah. I don't use it that often. I have a couple people that have super, super fine, fragile hair, and they like it really highlighted, really blonde. And those are the few people that I use it on.
Yeah. I've got another Olaplex question then related that's going to flow right into this. But before I get into that, I just want to bring up one thing. For those of you watching either live on Instagram or live on the YouTube channel or in the Curly Girl support group, if you're watching this live, if you could make a comment in the comment section now where you're watching this. And the reason is because we want to be sure that we're broadcasting this live in the optimal time. And the only way we know is if we know where you're watching it, and so if the time works for the majority of people or not, it's the only way we know. So if you could just take 2 seconds, I'll wait.
1, 2.
1, 2. Comment, tell me where you're watching this, and it would be really, really helpful. Okay, for you guys, it'll be helpful.
And I was just thinking about that a little more as you were talking. The other scenario where I would use Olaplex would be, as far as I don't put it in my hair color, but highlighting is if somebody came into the salon from somewhere else and their hair was very damaged and compromised, and yet, they still wanted highlighting done, then, I may end up using it just again to re-strengthen and as a precautionary.
Yeah. Well, that's
people don't always tell you everything that's been done, and I ask a lot of questions and I try to get that information from them, but they don't always fully disclose, or maybe they just don't even know. So I'm a little bit leery if someone's hair looks really fragile and they're still wanting super blonde hair.
Yeah. This next question is directly related, and it's a real general question. I'm going to ask it just the way it was asked. Melanie, so is Olaplex really worth it for color-treated hair, or is it a waste of money?
Well, so are they talking about the follow-up product?
That's why I said it was a real general question.
Yeah, that sounds like they're talking about the take-home products.
The conditioner, the number 3.
Well, now they're up to number 6.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know number 3 is take-home.
Yeah, number 3.
That I know. Worth it, not worth it.
Well,
or does the answer come back to if you're a great colorist using great coloring products, you don't need it, so it would be a waste?
No, I wouldn't say it's ever.
Or is that too hard of a question to generalize?
It's too general.
Too general?
Too general.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say that it would be a complete waste, but it sounds like that's a customer, because they're talking about colored hair, so it's already colored.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So no, I mean, it's a good product, and it will continue to rebond and re-strengthen the hair. Now they have a take-home conditioner, they have a shampoo, and they have a leave-in. So, it's not going to be bad. I would never say that it's a waste of time. It's a good product.
Okay. All right. Okay. Melanie, do I need to use more conditioner on my color treated curls than I did before I started using hair color?
More, I don't necessarily think so. The right kind of conditioner is going to be important. So you're going to want one definitely that is formulated, properly pH wise, not only for your curls, but to, keep the hair color in your hair and try to keep it from fading out. So I don't think it's necessarily more. Maybe after your hair, if it's been highlighted, again, that can compromise your hair, break it down, and then we need to recondition. Maybe you need to use, a more moisturizing conditioner. You may need to do a treatment with a little bit of protein and moisture. So it may just be adjusting the type of conditioner you're using, not necessarily using more.
Okay. All right. Hey, Rhett, how many minutes in are we? How far are we in? Okay, we're in about 35. All right, if you're watching this live, if you want me to keep going and asking Melanie more hair color questions, give me some hearts, and I'll continue. Otherwise, we'll wrap it up. So
Should we do another fun fact?
So you guys decide, and whatever part of the country or the world, frankly, because we got a lot of overseas people that watch.
Cool.
Yeah, tell us wherever you're watching as far as part of the world or country, wherever you are. But anyway, we'll do a fun fact while you guys tell us. If I see a bunch of hearts come up on the, or Rhett sees a bunch of the hearts come up, then we'll continue going questions. Otherwise, we'll wrap it up.
He does ask confusing questions. We just had that conversation yesterday.
God.
Claire.
All right.
Okay, so ask the question that you wanted to ask again in the.
I want to know where in the country or the world you are watching this show live, if you're watching it live, because that'll tell me if we should continue in the time slot that we do it in, that we've been doing it for the last, 2 years? Yeah, we want to know, because, I have heard in the past some people say, hey, I live out in California. I'm not even home from work yet, so, and they'd like to watch live, but again, I need the feedback.
I'm not going to.
I know we're not.
At 2 o'clock in the morning.
I'm not. I wasn't asking you.
Well, I'm telling you.
I'm not just. Anyway.
I stay up late enough.
Red, are we getting any hearts, or are we wrapping this thing up? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
That was confusing because I thought you meant like on what
All right.
platform.
All right. Fun fact. What's a fun fact? You got a fun fact?
Well, before I get into that, actually, that just reminded me of something because I was kind of worked up about it, and now I've cooled off, so I'll be nice. But, one of my clients commented that somebody was saying that we did this show just to promote our brand and sell our products, and she, thank you, Cheryl, really let them have it because I was like, oh my God, you have got to be kidding me. Do people know that I do this for free on my very little bit of off time? And so, I don't mind. I love it. I enjoy it. And I appreciate, being able to share information with people. But so my client stepped in and said, do you even know these people? It's just crazy how people can make comments that don't even know you personally at all, or how you work or what you're about. And, but that happens a lot. And so, but it's like
stop it, judgmental.
Oh my God. I mean, and we've had all of our competitors on the show who does that.
Nobody.
And we're promoting their products who does that, and we do this for free.
It's people I guess who haven't watched enough. Rhett made a comment to me a couple of weeks ago, and he said, he said we should take a Monday and follow you around from the time you get up till the time we get out of here, so they actually see what a Monday is like around here.
Yeah, and we literally
from the time I get up at 5:15,
7 days a week, and I spend 18 hours a day working.
Rhett made the comment. He's like, he said, I don't think anybody has any idea what your guys' lives are like.
No, they don't. Because even our friends and family, they know like you work a lot, but when they come here to visit, they're like, how come you're not getting home till 11 or 12 at night?
Right. What do you mean we're not going to the beach every day?
Right. Like we haven't been to the beach in, I don't know, 15 years.
I just listen to that.
Yeah, but anyway, so that's crazy. Yeah, everything is basically based around working. So, yeah. But anyway.
Was that the fun fact?
No, that wasn't my fun fact, but I just wanted to put that out there. Yeah, because it really, I'm going to say it. It pissed me off, I'm just like, oh my God,
it's better than being pissed on, right?
Yeah, well. But anyway, Cheryl came to my rescue, and she let them know what kind of people we really are.
God.
Going to visit her in the hospital.
Not everything you hear is true. I didn't do it.
So, but and just I think people do that a lot, where they don't even really truly know someone or their companies or what they're all about, and they get.
Yeah. Go ahead, Rhett. Pop into the show.
So this is my voice, by the way. This is Rhett, the producer in the outside of the studio. For anyone who is watching who doubts even them saying it, I will tell you that these are, like, I've known them since July of last year, and I've worked for them since July of last year, and they are two of the absolute most hardworking people that I've ever met. And I work directly with Ken 3 days a week, and he kills me just in the few hours that I'm here a day with him. So you can imagine, take that from 5 a.m. until I get here at about 11 a.m. He's already been up for 6 hours doing stuff and working until I get here, and we're here till usually about 7 or 8 at night working.
And I stay, right?
Not even on Monday. Those are just the days that we film and do other things too. So
and Rhett goes home and I
you
stay.
You stay here and you keep working. So if anyone doubts you, I mean, I'm here. So I see it. I see it,
and you haven't spent a day with me yet, Rhett. Look
out.
Right, as you've been there.
Was his day of curls. And that was,
that's
you
right.
were there when we got there. You had already had clients when we got there at like 11 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
And you were there when we left.
Of course.
So
in my
that's
heels.
my whole point. And
in heels on a Saturday.
And you did entire filming and everything too. Like, where we had to stop and start, and it wasn't a normal haircut. So it was a longer client than normal. So
that's true.
Yeah, so I will always stand up for you guys, because
thank you.
It's
Thank you.
I appreciate that, because it really is. It's only the people that really know us.
The people that truly know us.
That they know.
Yeah, they know, they get it, and they think we're crazy. They think we need therapy, but hey,
which may be true.
It is what it is. But okay, so my fun fact. We'll go back to picking on Ken because he missed that.
It's getting hot in here.
So in preparation for our Easter dinner, because it's my favorite meal, but our friends invite us over, and they have this amazing spread of variety of foods. I mean, there's Italian, there's Polish, there's turkey, just everything you could think of. But I don't know if you know, well, it depends on how good you know us, right? You might not know this either. Ken is kind of a messy eater. So
that is not.
So in preparation for our Easter meal, I have this ginormous
is that a bib
for you.
Great. Oh, stop.
Oh my God, isn't it great? I'm going to take this to the restaurants for you.
Thanks.
Yeah, that way you won't get anything on your clothing.
I'm actually. It's it's really not this. I'm a big napkin user, because I think it's gross when people get food on their face and don't know it. So I'm constantly wiping.
You get napkin wiped onto your face,
which happens a lot.
Yeah, I have to tell them. I should just let them do it.
All right, moving
on.
Actually,
these are for hair.
Can we end this, or do we need to keep going? Did we get hearts or not? We got hearts.
We got hearts. Actually, this is great because this is actually for hair coloring, so it goes right along with our theme.
Is that right?
Yeah, this is so cool. So this is a new hair color bib that they came out with. So it's actually meant to be tied around the back of the client for those long-haired clients like me that you're pulling color through the ends of the hair or whatever, and it gets all over the chair.
That is slick.
Yeah, isn't that slick?
If you're listening on podcast and you can't see this thing is clear, and it's probably 5 feet long.
Yeah.
It looks like a Superman's cape is what it looks like.
Now I'm like Wonder Woman. goes along with our last comment. So anyway, yeah, and you tie it around the neck, and it's this big long cape that goes all the way down to like the butt of the client, and
Wow.
so it protects them. It protects the chair, which I love because I'm tired of getting hair color all over my silver chairs at the salon. So anyway, that's what it was made for. But I said, oh my God, that would be perfect for Ken.
For Leslie. It'd be perfect for Leslie.
Yes, but perfect for you to go out to dinner.
Right. Just give me some napkins. Anyway, moving on. Moving on. All right. Can dyeing your hair cause it to lose curl or change the curl pattern?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Next.
That happens because of the hair being compromised, more so from bleaching the hair. But, you know, if it's over processed, you're losing that integrity of the hair, which has happened to Julie, my very extremely curly stylist. She actually likes that in a way because it loosens her curls, but in excess, it will straighten your curls, you know, because it's very, very damaged, and then you can't get that curl back in your hair. It needs to be cut.
Yeah.
So the answer is yes.
This might be something of a repetitive question, but it might not. So I figured I'd answer it because I can think of some things that I've seen. What brands do you recommend to touch up hard to color gray roots?
Well, are they talking about?
I'm just what's ringing in my mind. The reason that I read this is, I swear, I don't know if it was at the hair show last year in Orlando, where somebody had come up with, it was almost like a pen.
Okay, so that's what I was wondering. If we're talking about actual hair color, or if we're just talking about those root touch-ups to go in between hair colors. There's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of good ones now. There's powders there's one called Mimic. There's a Rusk one. I'm looking for an organic brand. We just had somebody call the salon because she had heard of an organic one. I don't know if that's that. What is that? Not Dolly Medicine, because that's snacks, but it's Madison something.
Madison Reed.
Madison Reed. I don't know. I think they have better ingredients, and I believe that they may have a root touch-up, but they come in sprays, they come in powders, all different formats. And so Organic Color Systems just came out with one that is, it's more of a powder that it's kind of like a little bit of a spray into the hair, but it comes out of powder, if that makes sense. But they have very limited colors, so I think they're just kind of testing the waters there, and I'm hoping that they're going to expand on it. So I don't have one in particular that I like. It's just kind of personal preference. They all pretty much work the same. There's one called Color Wow. Murphy. Grab her.
No.
Hey.
Go on.
There's what is it? Color Wow. So there's some that look like kind of like crayons or mascara. I don't love the mascara brush ones. It's hard to apply. That kind of gets tangled in the hair. So anyway, but yeah, there's a lot of different kinds that work good.
Okay.
But those are just temporary. They wash out.
Just temporary. Okay. Melanie, my diva stylist says that he uses the special Pintura method to color my curls, and the only, in big letters, only way curls should be colored is by a stylist certified in Pintura. Do you agree with that?
No.
Do you do Pintura color at your salon? Are you Pintura certified?
I am Pintura certified. It's not the only way, you know. Pintura is a type of balayage. It's a type of painting the highlights on the hair, but it's not the only way. There's, other techniques that can be used that are just as effective, getting a stylist that's highly trained in hair color and using the proper, application process is what's important. It doesn't have to be Pintura.
Okay.
So I am trained. I can do it. Do I normally? Once in a while, but it's not my go-to technique.
Okay. Here's a related question. Melanie, how do you know if you should go to a hair colorist for hair color and not use the same stylist that cuts my curls?
Well, that's a good question. It's going to come down to, are you happy with the way that they color your hair? So fortunately for a lot of my clients, I am highly certified in both, so they like that. But sometimes you have someone that's a good cutter, like they cut hair. I can think of several people from an organization that we're familiar with, that specialize in curly hair, and a lot of them just cut. They don't do hair color.
And that's cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
Have at it, man,
So
if that's what you're good at.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what they're good at. So they don't do the hair color. So
Yeah.
then you need to go to somebody else. So,
Yeah.
if you're lucky enough to find someone that's good at hair color and cutting, then that's awesome. But, there's salons that are departmentalized. So they have just people that cut and people that color. So, then you're going to have two different.
Okay, good. Let's see. Okay, Melanie, is it normal for your scalp to burn when getting your hair colored at the salon?
No.
Mine does. Every time. My stylist mixes Sweet and Low packets into my hair to ease the pain. This seems completely unprofessional to me. Is it? Or am I just being a hair color elitist?
Perhaps, but I am too. So, yeah. I don't love that technique. It is something that has been used in the past.
McJudgy.
Yeah. So it's old fashioned. It's not necessary anymore because
You could put Sweet and Low in an old fashioned. Anyway, I'm dating myself. Never mind.
So yeah, it's not. I don't love it because Sweet and Low is saccharin, and so now you're mixing it with the chemicals that were previously burning your scalp. What it does is it lowers the pH, so it makes it more acidic, so that it's not burning the scalp. So that should not be necessary anymore. There's other hair colors that are, that are made better that you shouldn't have that burning effect if you're, whether it's an allergy that you're having or a sensitivity. I would seek out a different hair color. But yeah, I don't love
A different hair color brand? Okay.
Yeah. It is a technique that's been used in the past, but I just don't recommend it anymore. Now we're smarter and wiser, and there's better products.
Better products, yeah.
Yeah.
In the last 10 years, for sure.
Did it work? It did, and it does.
Yeah.
But it's not, I'm not in love with that.
No. Do any of your stylists at your salon? Never mind. Getting
No.
the side eye. Melanie, please explain the difference between semi, demi, and permanent hair color.
Okay, so semi-permanent hair color is going to be a temporary color that washes out. Typically, it's not mixed with a developer. A demi-permanent is the next level up, so it's typically like a 10 volume developer. It's what we call deposit only, so it can't make the hair color lighter. It's going to be the same level of hair color or darker. And then permanent hair color, you have a range of levels that you can lighten the hair to before you have to use bleach. So you have a lot of variety of formulations that you can use, and peroxides anywhere from a 10 to a 40 volume.
Okay.
But that's the difference. And then it stays in the hair. It will oxidize somewhat and lighten a little bit, but it is a permanent color. It stays in the hair. And the demis do too. The demis stay in the hair. It's just that you can't lighten the hair. It has to be the same level of lightness or dark.
Yeah. What did you say you use on me for my touch-up?
I use a 6 ash and 10 volume.
Which is a semi, demi, or permanent?
That's a demi.
That's a demi.
So
Okay.
you can get great coverage with demis.
Okay.
With semi-permanent, you cannot.
Okay. All right. Okay. Melanie
You're
is
not going to have, good coverage.
Oh, okay. Let's do a couple more. Melanie, is highlighting curly hair safe for someone who's still in the early stages of transitioning to the curly girl method?
You know what? I'm going to go back for a second because people are going to question that. Because when we were talking about the root touch-ups, that is a semi-permanent color, and it does cover it's going to help camouflage that gray, so you will be able to camouflage and get a blending of it, but it's just going to wash out of your hair. So I just want to kind of throw that in there.
Okay.
Anyway, what was that question?
I'll paraphrase. Is highlighting curly hair safe for someone that is still in the early stages of transitioning to the curly girl method?
Read it one more time.
Is highlighting curly hair safe for someone still in the early stages of transitioning to the curly girl method and curly girl friendly products?
It's not that, that's kind of that's worded so weird. That's why I had to read it again, because it's not that it's unsafe, but it's going to compromise the curls some. It's going to break down that hair. Like I talked about, when you're highlighting, it's removing pigment or stripping the hair from, its natural colored state. So, it could affect your curl pattern. So, would it be the best thing that I recommend when you're trying to transition? Probably not, because you're not going to get, your best curl. Some people's hair can tolerate it a lot more than other. It depends on how fragile your hair is. So, again, some people might not have any negative effects from doing some highlights, and other people will. So just because, it's a learning process and you're transitioning, trying to get the best curl that you can, I would probably hold off on that until you get your routine figured out, your products, your techniques that, work best for you. And then, you can get into some highlighting, but it's not like it's wrong to do it.
Okay. Rhett, how are we doing on time? Okay. All right. Let's do one more question. And for those of you, and I'm going to announce for those of you who haven't heard or have not entered yet, Rhett is going to post a link in the comment section for the Day of Curls giveaway, which is a full all expense paid trip to the Raw Hair Organic Salon in beautiful Naples, Florida, one of the top curly hair salons in the country, to have a full day of curl pampering, full curl makeover by curl expert Melanie Nickels and her team of curl specialists. And we'd like you to enter or nominate a friend or a relative or someone that that needs a curl makeover, and you can nominate yourself, but we are really looking for someone for people to nominate others, and we'll pick somebody that really needs one. And we're probably going to move back the announcement of the winner to that. We're probably going to add another month to that, so it's probably going to be at the end of June. We're going to announce the winner, but Rhett will post a link, so make sure you enter that, because that's worth a few $1,000s. I mean, we had a winner last year from Ohio. Trust me, it's a legit all expense paid giveaway. We flew her in from the Midwest, gave her the full day of curl pampering, flew her back same night, all expense paid. So it's a really cool giveaway. Biggest giveaway in the curl industry this year and last year.
So, that's why we want, people to nominate someone that is in need and, might not have someone in the area that can do their hair, or, just has some kind of a story, that it would be really special for them to, get their hair done and really have a wow, makeover. Because they're going to do, their cut, their color, whatever it is that they need. And
product application.
Yeah. So
all that stuff.
It's a pretty awesome day.
Yep. It's a pretty awesome day. A lot of fun. Is Murphy going to be there?
I doubt it.
I doubt it. She might not. Okay. All right. Let's do one more. All right. Melanie, my natural color is medium blonde, but I color to cover gray. I'm confused by the term bleach, especially when it's being discussed that bleach is the most damaging hair color. Does bleach specifically refer to blonde? I've discovered that the best color match for my medium blonde is actually referred to as light blonde. I color at home with non-ammonia dye. Any thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, bleach and color are two different things. So the hair color is, something that's going to put pigment into the hair and color the hair, which is what she's talking about, being a light blonde or a medium blonde. And then when you're talking about bleach, you're talking about going beyond the lightness of what color can do. Like I said earlier, color can only lift a certain number of levels. So once, in whatever color you're dealing with on somebody's hair, once you're to that lightness, like 4 levels from their natural, we're talking like technical terms. So levels go from darkness to lightness. So from level 1 being the darkest to level 10 being the lightest. So a 7 is what she's talking about, is like a medium blonde. And to get that beyond, like, let's say a level 10, which is, a lighter blonde, then you have to get into the bleach. So bleach is what people now call lighteners, and if you want to lighten it beyond what the color can do, then you have to use a bleach because that's going to strip the actual pigment out of the hair.
So you can actually lighten curly hair without using bleach.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. We've got a couple other questions, but they're...
I just did that on that girl where I posted the video. Darylise, I didn't use her name, but it was a young girl with glasses, and I did a curly cut and highlight, and she had no color on her hair. She had very dark hair, but she had no color on it, so I wasn't about to, why put bleach on there? I can lighten it with just hair color. So that's exactly what I did, so that it was going to be more gentle and less damaging to her curls. And it was great. She just wanted, some caramel highlights, and it was beautiful. Loved it. Came out perfectly.
Okay, good. Okay, I've got a couple more questions, but they're going to be lengthy answers, and I'm going to save them to for next week's show.
Oh.
And I'm going to save them for next week's show.
I'm going to be in a food coma next week.
You're going to be in a food coma, that's for sure. So we'll go over that next week. So I know it's time to quit because I know Instagram has run out. So that means we're at an hour.
We've been cut off.
We've been cut off. Goodbye, Instagram. Sorry. All right. So that's it. So we'll go over those questions, and I'll give you a hint. One of those questions is they're looking for Melanie's full explanation on henna. And boy, that's always a fun topic if you've ever hung around. It's always fun. So we'll go over that. Yeah. So to be continued. So anyway. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Again, make sure you go and enter the Day of Curls giveaway, or enter someone else. We'd prefer. Make sure you do that. Link is in the comments section. Please visit our sponsors, Raw Curls at rawhairorganics.com, and Raw Organics Nutritional Supplements, Raw Organics Health at rawganx.com. And I think that's it. So have
Everyone
a great
happy Easter if that's what you celebrate.
If you celebrate, have a happy Easter. If not, just have a happy week, I guess. Happy week. And Melanie and I and Murphy will see you next
Passover
time.
Too. Happy Passover.
Happy Passover. Yeah. Is it really Passover?
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yep.
Okay.
Passover, the Seder.
Yeah, that's it. Anyway, all right. We'll see you. Have a great curl week.